Another local derby coming up on the cards, Billy, sees St Anne's taking on St Fintons. And St Fintons have done very well to get to this side of the business end of the championship. Talk to me a little bit about those two teams.
Well, everybody knows St Anne's and how good they are. Champions a couple of years ago. Number of inter-county players they have: Dee O'Keefe, Red Barry, Lee Moog, McGovern. An excellent team, an excellent dual team. And they'll be very fit and they'll be overwhelming favourites for this tie, no doubt about it. But you have to give credit to St Fintons, last year's intermediate champions, qualified for the quarter-finals. Some excellent players as well. Barry Brennan, the former inter-county player with Laois, who transferred to them, and he's been a big addition to the team. He makes an awful difference. Joey Wadding, Shane Sinnott, Pádraig Doyle midfield. They've excellent team, hard workers. They've lost young Donald Shanley, former county minor hurler and footballer. He's gone to America on a soccer scholarship, so he's a massive loss because he's a scoring forward, free taker. He's crucial to the team, worth 5 or 6 points every game. And I think for this game, the former champions would have to be overwhelming favourites for it.
You never know, though. I always fancy the underdogs.
Yeah, and the intermediate champions in Wexford always have a habit of doing well in the championship and have often qualified for the semi-final. So anything can happen in sport, I know, but I still think the Anns would have too much.
The last of the quarter-finals, Billy, sees a real local derby between Horeswood and Gusserane. Horeswood haven't been champions before on a few occasions. Will be well up for this game against their local rivals, Gusserane.
Yes, I think this is one of the most eagerly awaited quarter-finals of the lot because it's a local derby, as you say, and very, very local. Fierce rivalry between the two teams. Horeswood have won a lot of titles over the last 10, 12 years, and Gusserane will really feel they're in a position to get one over on their neighbours this time, because I saw Gusserane play in the last league game against the Starlights and they really beat them comprehensively. I think it was by about 11 points. They were impressive. Adrian Flynn was back from America, scored 1-5, showed his worth to the team, played really well, and I think this could be the chance Gusserane have been waiting for a while. On the flip side of that, Horeswood, very, very difficult to beat. They'll have PJ Banville back, who's missed the last few league games. He's so crucial. If PJ Banville play well, Horeswood play well. They have managed without him. They've got to the quarter-finals without him this summer. But I think he's really crucial to their cause.
Yeah. I think there's a good mix of youth and experience being formulated on the team, in Horeswood, and I think they're going to be calling on all elements of that the next stages to take on Gusserane.
Yeah, I was going to say they're an ageing team, but I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But David Shannon, Lee O'Brien, they've been around a long time, very, very experienced players. You can't buy that experience.
Yeah.
In the last round, you were saying that they had thrown in 3 minors on the team. They all performed capably, and that's what you need. You need a mixture of youth and experience. PJ coming back is going to be a massive boost. Hard one to call, and I think I'll go book the trend this time, and I think I'll go for Gusserane.
Okay.
In the second semi-final, the Shelmaliers locked horns with Ferns. Both sides have never claimed senior hurling titles, and the Shelmaliers were making their 3rd appearance in a row in the county semi-finals. But previously, they had met out of the Balloch and they were facing fresh opposition, this time in the form of Ferns, last year's beaten county finalists. Ferns looked the livelier outfit at the start, and Christopher Bitsy O'Connor was impeded there. In the opening throws, Ferns eventually got around the Shelmaliers' goal mouth and created panic when Ryan Nolan picked out Ian Byrne, but Byrne's shot was denied by Brian Murphy. With only a few minutes gone, tensions were flowing in Wexford Park. A long-range free from Tommy Dwyer fell on the Clonard end square. With danger looming, it was Brian Murphy who played the hero for the Shelmaliers. A Shelmaliers line ball was claimed by Ferns as Benny Jordan hit a ball into space in the Ferns full forward line, and it was down to influential full forward John Breen to lodge Ferns' first score of the game. The Shelmaliers soon replied though, as Joe Kelly lodged a pointed free. And at the other end, Tommy Dwyer had no hesitation in pointing this one, 2 points to 1 in favour of Ferns. A quick free from James Tonks picked out Tommy Dwyer, and Dwyer jigged past Clive Lawler Ryan to put over this left-sided effort. Ferns now led by 3 points to 1 after 11 minutes. Ferns were enjoying a purple patch as Johnny Dwyer lurked around the Shelmaliers' defence, and he put over this fine effort. James Tonks was doing a serious amount of work in the half-back line for Ferns. He passed this ball down the wing, and while the Shelmaliers regained possession, Ian Byrne pounced on an opportunity to put this ball over the bar. Ferns now led by 4 points. But the reliable free taker, Joe Kelly, stepped up to the mark at the other end as he put this ball over the bar to reduce his side's deficit to 3 points. At the other end of the field, Paul Morris gained possession, and while he was being chased down by Brian Doyle, he eventually was shouldered off the ball by Clive Lawler Ryan, but still, he had the guts to put the ball over the bar. As he faced into a strong breeze coming from the Clonard end, Ian Byrne aimed for the post. His shot dropped short, and Brian Murphy held firm on the line for the Shelmaliers. Simon Donoghue and Conor Walsh combined to dispel the threat, and so they created a counter-attack, with Brian Malone finding Joe Kelly, who rammed past Kieran Roberts and won a free for himself. Kelly converted it. His side now trailed by just 2 points. But it was tit for tat in this game of margins. Tommy Dwyer then found Paul Morris, who led it inside to Ian Byrne. Byrne was chased by the bumblebees of the Shelmaliers, but he still managed to get past them and set up Johnny Dwyer for a goal, but he just didn't see the posts in time. Joe Kelly then lobbed in a long-range effort, and the Shelmaliers man was just short of the post. Brian Malone pounced on the ball, but he was dispossessed by Benny Jordan. Joe Kelly, though, caught the puck from Jordan, and then he found Brian Doyle, who landed this outrageous point. The margin now was just a single point. Stephen Banville was unsuccessful in the catch. He nearly got the post, and a Niall Maguire block put him off scoring the equaliser. And Tommy Dwyer had no hesitation in putting the ball over the bar to create a 2-point advantage for Ferns as they entered the dressing rooms at half-time. The Ferns men restarted with great vigour. Benny Jordan blasted the ball down into the full forward line for Ferns, and John Breen kicked the ball out to Christopher Bitsy O'Connor, who fired this fine shot over the bar, giving Ferns a 3-point advantage within seconds of the restart. Joe Kelly then atoned for that with this pointed free. As Ian Byrne jigged his way through the Shelmaliers' defence, he hand-passed it off to his Ferns colleague John Breen. Breen was denied though by Clive Lawler Ryan. The Ferns men were fortifying their rear guard. The puck out though was claimed by Ferns, and Benny set about making amends for his earlier mistake. He freed himself from the shackles of Stephen Banville and fired over this peach of a point to restore the Ferns lead of 9 points to 6. The Ferns men had flashes of brilliance, and when they arrived, they were worth waiting for. Tommy Dwyer let this ball off to Ian Byrne, and Byrne found space. His shot at the post was a divine one. The puck out though was claimed heroically by Brian Doyle. He chased through the Ferns defence and was brought to ground by Benny Jordan, prompting reliable referee Pat Keogh to award a free in. Joe Kelly stepped up to the mark and he narrowed the gap to 2 points. Even though he had the advantage of a strong breeze, Tommy Dwyer's free just went wide. As play progressed, the Shelmaliers found it easier and easier to jig the ball around their defensive area. Clive Lawler-Ryan played the ball back to Conor Walsh and he landed a crucial ball on top of Stephen Banville. Banville got past Padraig Ryan, he let it off to Simon Donoghue. Donoghue's initial shot was denied, but then Joe Kelly parried it over the goal line. The Shelmaliers men now had a 1 point lead and Joe Kelly soon made that a 2 point lead. The men of Over the Water were over the moon. A line ball from Joe Kelly almost made it over the bar, but this time Michael Walsh cleared it for Ferns. Joe Kelly was the main talisman for the Shelmaliers and he put them ahead by 2 points with this fine point. At the other end of the field though, Tommy Dwyer tried to get the gap back down to 1, and he did so. As the rain pelted down in Wexford Park, time was running out and Joe Kelly asserted the Shelmaliers' newfound dominance when he pointed this pointed free from the halfway point. It was a battle of the free takers. Tommy Dwyer looked into the town end posts, but his shot just went wide. With around 2 or 3 minutes left, Ferns needed an answer, but they weren't given it as Noel Mythen regained possession for the Shelmaliers. He raced past Padraig Ryan and played a crossfield ball into the paw of Joe Kelly. Kelly popped the ball over the bar and gave the Shelmaliers a 3 point lead. With tired limbs on both sides of the field, Clive Lawler-Ryan held firm, and so it was the Shelmaliers' victory as the men from Over the Water claimed a place in the senior hurling final of 2014. The final score, the Shelmaliers 111, Ferns 11 points.
I'm alone and so blue.